Hey guys, this is Sports here. And now, this video is called the Rules of Chess. I'm going to show you all the rules that I know. So now, we're starting with the pawn rule. When a pawn's first turn goes, it can actually go 2 spaces. And then, after it goes 2 spaces, then this pawn can actually take by just going diagonally. And normally, pawns can go forward just 1 space. Now, say if this pawn wants to move twice. There's something called en passant, where a pawn moves twice, and then a pawn can take that the white pawn skipped. So now just a couple of moves. Now, when a pawn gets to the end, it can actually promote to a different piece. It can do a queen, a rook, bishop, and even a knight. So yeah, those are the rules of pawns. Pawns can promote. They can do en passant, move 2 spaces on the first turn, and take pieces by going 1 space diagonally. So, comment below if I miss anything wrong. Now, it is time for the rules of the bishop. Okay, here we are. So now, when you promote a pawn to a bishop, you can actually not give checkmate with just 1 bishop, but you can do stalemate. And we'll talk about that later. But if you have 2 bishops, then you can do a checkmate. And you saw it in you might have saw that in one of my earlier videos, but yes, you can. So then, 2 bishops can give checkmate. I know it's a little surprising, but they can. So a white bishop can move only on white squares because it can only go diagonal. So no matter where it goes, it will be on a white square. Now, the black bishop can go on any square that's black. Basically the same thing as the white bishop, just on dark squares. So yep. Now we are going to move on to the rules of the knight. What? Did he assume the same position? Yes, he did. So now, unfortunately, a knight cannot do a checkmate by itself. And in case you didn't know, even 2 knights cannot do it. So, yep. Actually, 2 knights can do a checkmate. Sorry. Well, I might make a video of that, but I did not make it yet. But they can make a checkmate in the corner of the board. So now, a knight can move to a spot where it moves like an L. If you look at the lines that the knight can do, it actually looks like a L. So yep, And knights can do something called a fork, where it can trap two pieces. Say a queen was on g4. Then that would be called the royal fork. Because then once the king moves, then the knight could take the queen. So those are the rules of the knight. Now, oh, and if in case you're wondering, can a knight and a bishop do a checkmate? Actually, they can. A knight and a bishop can do a checkmate. I know it's pretty weird, but yes, they can do it. Now we are going to the rules of the rook. Here we are, same position again. Now, when white promotes to a rook can actually do a mate by himself. So the king goes here, gives check, and then yeah, you will do checkmate on the edge of the board. Now, if you have two rooks, you can still do a mate on h8. And the rooks can go up, down, left, or right. They can... I know you just saw me do that, miss that rook ladder. On h8, that would be a mate. Well, yes, they can do pretty good mates. Now, we are going to the rules of the queen. Okay, now we are going on to the rules of the queen. The pawn promotes to a queen. Now, a queen can go up, down, left, and right, and all diagonals with the king. The king is known as the most powerful piece in the game, but you can lose your queen fast if you use it too early. So now, queens can easily give mates at the very end with the queen and helper mate. The queen goes to g2. So now, yep, those are the pieces rules. Now we are going on to stalemate. Wow, this looks like the same position. Well, it almost is. And now we're talking about stalemate. So, a stalemate is when one of the players cannot move anywhere but is not in check. So a stalemate would be queen to g3. So, yep, that is stalemate. So now, we're going on to do a draw of repetition. Okay, so, a draw of repetition would be when the same position is repeated 3 times. So, it would sort of be like this. Two. Now. I don't know why this app is not doing it, but it would be a draw because the same position has been repeated 3 times. So, I know it doesn't show it because this is a 2-player game, but it would show it on the rest of the games. So now, a draw of 50 moves. So, a draw of 50 moves is when no piece has been taken and no pawn has moved for 50 moves. So, that's how it is. I don't really exactly have that much time to do it on this one, but that's what it is. Now, moving on to castling. Okay, this is the position that I chose to do about castling. So, it is white's turn. See those blue dots? This is the only time when the king can move 2 spots. This is called castling. You can only do it if your king has not moved yet, or if one of the rooks has not moved yet. So, you can castle on the queen side, or you can castle on the king side. Right now, the safest one would be the king side. So that's castling. Now, we are going to move on to check. Okay, now we're going to do check. So, check is when the king is threatened to be taken. So, this would be a check because the queen is just about to get the king. And I didn't mention this earlier, but the king cannot castle into check, through check, or out of check. And there is no other way to block it, so he's gonna have to move. So that's what check is. Now we are going to move on to checkmate. Now, this is the rook ladder checkmate. So, a checkmate is when the king is guaranteed to get taken. So say the king goes to h7. Now, it is a guaranteed mate on h1. So, when the rook moves to h1, the king cannot move anywhere, or else it'll be in check. And it is in check. So that is a checkmate. So, when there's a checkmate, they automatically win. Now, we're going to the moves of the king. Now, the moves of the king can go in any direction, but only one space at a time. So that's how the king moves, and it's basically known as the game-winning piece. Or, yeah, the game-winning piece at the end game. But when there's a minor piece, no more. That's how the king moves. Now, you can comment below if I missed any rules, and I'll make one more video if I did. Thank you for watching. Please subscribe.